Boy, you just keep on using me, girl, until you use me up. Until you use me up. All right.
And we are back.
All right. Let's go to the king.
Let's go before the Lord.
King of Kings.
Here we are. Deep skydiving.
Skeep diving.
Skeep diving.
Yeah.
Deep skydiving, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Deep Sky.
Deep skydiving.
Oh, she got it. Go ahead.
I don't know. That's
Go ahead.
not
Do it
really.
again. I missed it.
I don't have much more. Than
Oh, all
that.
right.
So, deep skydiving.
Deep skydiving. Father, we just thank you right now for this time. We bless your name for all that you've done in our lives, all that you're doing, and all that you're going to do, Father. And we just thank you that we even have an opportunity to do something like this, Father. We pray that today, well, right now, we ask you forgive us for our sins. And even those who are listening right now, I pray that you forgive them for their sins. I pray that they're praying along with me, Father. If they don't know you, I pray that they come into the saving knowledge of your Son and come into right relationship with you, Father. And I thank you just for affording us the opportunity to even do this. Let us speak with clarity. Let us come through with understanding. Give us wisdom, Father. Let our words be your words. You speak through us. You have your way at this time, Father. If we say anything wrong, you correct us, Father. Convict us. Let us clear it up. Father, we're not perfect. We know that we don't know everything. We don't claim that we do, but we do want to be effective. We want to help people. We want to show love and compassion, and we want to be holy just as you are. So have your way at this time, even with this episode, Father. Let it be the best episode yet, Father. And let us go deep skydiving, Father. Let's go deep skydiving with you, and you be with us. I thank you. And it's in your Son, Yahushua name, I ask you all these things. Amen.
Amen. Welcome back, divers.
Welcome back.
We never called them divers again after you came up with that awesome name.
I think you had did that.
No, you came up with divers.
I'm pretty sure you had said divers.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to give you credit. Welcome back to Deep Skydiving.
Because I think you're hot.
Sexy. Where can they catch us, AJ?
Deep Skydiving Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. I really want to get a Facebook going for the reason we talk about the other content that we want to do.
Okay.
But we got to get that going first, too.
I guess I got to get a social media at all.
You don't have to, but it probably will help. If y'all want to see her on social media, y'all let us know.
Yeah, I don't.
There will still
Or
be
don't.
boundaries. or don't. Whatever. But yeah, Deep Skydiving Podcast at gmail.com if you want to reach out. You know, YouTube, man. We on YouTube, every podcast platform. You know, like, subscribe, man. Check us out. Keep listening. Share it, you know, and the things you hear, you know, share it with your friends. If you got different opinions, if you hate our opinion, if you hate our guts, let us know. Comment and all that, man.
And I know y'all are out there because I've heard people talk about it. Did I tell you that?
No, what happened?
A few people have brought up the podcast. No, they haven't said anything bad. I don't know if it's because they're afraid that I will mess up their shape ups.
Oh.
No,
but
that
blade to the head.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna say nice things. No, but they've been saying really good things. Like, I mean, people who I didn't even know were listening actively. They're like, "Yo, I love it. Like, it's really good." And this one guy was like, "Well, you know how you ask that like really annoying question, like, so what did you like about it?" See if the person actually listened.
You really watching it,
and see if they say something about the first episode. But no, he was like really like. He really gave some insightful things. So I appreciate y'all listening.
Yeah, man, because we're
humble.
We doing this for y'all. We doing this with purpose. So, we do want to be effective in our community. Stay tuned because we do got some things coming. Not just content, but we will be doing things that'll be more hands-on with, our community.
Absolutely.
And with people. We want to be intentional more than just a podcast with bringing men and women together.
Yes.
And bringing these understandings and showing how we could all, make it work.
Absolutely. I'm Darah, by the way.
Y'all know who we are by now. You gotta. I shouldn't have to keep saying my name. So it's AJ, first letter, 10th letter.
A to the J.
All right. And let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get to it.
You got anything from last episode you want to clear up or something might have came to mind?
Well, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I liked the dynamic of you and Pastor Mo. I thought that was a pretty dynamic episode. But what did you get from it? I mean, I feel like it was for the men, you know what I mean? And look out, ladies, because we're going to have one for the women too. We're going to do something a little down the line.
Yeah.
Just kind of touching on the basis of, sisterhood, being a woman, being a wife, being a mother, things like that. So look forward to that.
The beautiful things about femininity and women.
All that good stuff. So we will be coming out with that. But what did you take from the last episode? Because I know you were in it, but I know also you were able to like review it when you were editing.
I want to listen to it again.
Okay.
But there was a I think the biggest thing that I could think of right now is how like we're both men, both masculine men, and both kind of had the same situation. Not the same situation, but growing up without our father. But still, with him being a mama's boy, me not being a mama's boy, with my mother being in church, his mother not being in church, both of us end up in the streets, but you still kind of see two different dynamics of character with the both of us. And then, but both of us still came to the same point.
Right.
And that's probably because, I ain't gonna say probably, the most of that, the 99% of that is because of our relationship with God.
Absolutely.
It's because of Christ. But it's just crazy. You see that dynamic, how two people would start here and then go like this, and still meet.
Still meet
here and still have both now have this solid foundation, even though they both came from completely rocky, completely different situations.
And that's
dope.
That's what I was saying too. Like, I think I brought that up to you too. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm a woman, but what I noticed was that you guys both have, you both have had your moms, right? You came from, single parent homes, right? But you both were raised by your mom. But I noticed that the dynamics were different. Yeah. And I noticed that for you, your mother was like, we talked about this, a staple, right? Like she is going to be there. She is there. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to worry about her betraying you. Like, you know what I mean? Not like in that sense, but I don't, with Mo, he was saying that he was almost like he was chasing his mother's like yearning for her attention because he was that only child. Like he would have that sort of like fit of jealousy and all this other stuff, and he was a mama's boy. So it's like when your mama, it's like you're looking, you're chasing something that is not like willingly given to you. Even though I know she would have probably done anything for him, and I'm pretty sure she did. It was the fact that your mom was just kind of like she just. And I can identify with that, right? More than in Mo's situation. But my mother was always there. She was always an advocate for me. Yeah. I never had to worry about her not being there. Like, even to this day, like, I never have to worry about that. I feel like you grow up differently when that's the case. When there really is no, like, I don't know if my mom's going to be there. Maybe she might be.
I did feel like that a little bit, though.
You did at some point?
Yeah, because she didn't. So don't get me wrong, she was always there in the capacity that she knew to be there. But what had hurt me the most was when I was defending myself, what I was taught to do in school, and they put me out. She didn't fight for me because I had pride in like graduating from high school, finishing, getting my diploma on time. I was supposed to be 17 when I graduated and all that. And so when they unjustly kicked me out and unjustly expelled me, and she didn't fight for me. And I remember as a kid, my brother took a pistol up to the school and everything and got kicked out of Maryland schools. Not PG County schools, not Bladensburg High School. He got kicked out of Maryland schools.
Every school in Maryland.
And she fought to get him back into school and everything. And so when I just get into a little fist fight, defending myself and everything, and they put me out, I felt like she didn't fight for me to.
Was she experiencing anything at that time? Like, you know what she was going through?
It was 2004. It wasn't going through nothing. Raising two boys on her own, that's it. The same thing she been going through. But I mean, she probably was tired. I don't know. My brother's 9 years older than me. I don't know I can't tell you what was on in her mental. But I'm just telling you what I experienced. And I forgive her for it. I let that go. But it's just, I felt like, man, she didn't fight for me. Now I had to repeat a whole new year of high school. So I graduated a year late. It don't look like it because I was 18 when I graduated, which most people are. But I had pride at graduating at 17. I planned on going to college for law and everything. And so, that kind of threw a fork in all my plans and all my hopes. And so, when I was younger, I held that against her.
Gotcha. So. Wow, that's interesting. But it goes back to, remember we were talking about how you can be, everybody's raised differently. Like, you see that as a disappointment. You know what I mean? Like your mom like wasn't there, and maybe Your brother probably feels something completely different.
He can't. I ain't gonna go into no detail. He can't say my mother wasn't there for him. They ain't know in every aspect. I feel like she was there for him more than she was for me. Now, granted, he may have needed her to be there more, but that's a different story.
It is.
What's the topic for today?
The topic for today is in your phone because I don't have my phone.
You remember it.
It's the what is it?
You don't remember it.
Is it weird? No. For men to have all women friends and women to have all men friends.
All right, I give you that. Yeah.
Oh, is it a strange thing? Not is it weird?
Same thing. Is it a strange thing for a man to have all women friends and for a woman to have all man friends?
Yes, and that was your topic. So tell me why you even thought of that.
I don't remember why I thought of it, but since we're here, women first. What do you think?
Well,
let's do this first. Since women first, is it a strange thing for a woman to have like only man friends, all man friends?
I think both dynamics are strange. That's just how I feel.
All right, cool. I agree. Also.
I don't think that it's wrong, but I just think that it's strange because there are also people who don't have any friends.
All right, so
and I think that that's strange too.
That's a little weird. That's a little. Yes. I don't know if I could
just
trust you.
So we're clear.
It's a little. I don't know if I could trust you, worthy. All
right, so, that's how I feel.
So, define strange when you say I think that it's strange.
So I'll just start with women. Right. I think, no, I won't start with women because I don't really think that it has to do with, like, I don't think it's a huge difference with the gender. I just think that in everybody's life.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, hear me out. I think that in everybody's life, there has to be a support or of some sort. And I think that those individuals who, to me, have, the accountability that they need and the growth and all of that, they have other people who are in their circle who are smarter than them or who have gone through some of the same things. Who contribute to that, right? And they look like them.
You going there.
Right. So you as a man and you being my friend, there are certain things that you could never understand about me that another woman would. So, of course, I would need a woman in my life to hold me accountable and do those things. I would never look for that accountability from you, even though I do feel like God does deposit things in everybody, right? So he can put things in you. But I still wouldn't be able to relate to you because, again, you don't know my experience. It's also why I chose a black woman therapist. Yeah. Like, I feel like, obviously, I can get therapy from a white man, right? But there are certain things that he's never going to, even understand about the plight of a black woman.
Right.
So with that being said, I feel like the relatability. Exactly. Yeah. Like, so you're not even a woman and you're not black? Oh, no. You know what I mean? So I think that that thread that I was telling you about, and that's why I think it's strange because I feel like there's a level of denial that you have to have of yourself.
Ooh. Keep going.
Level of denial that you have to have of yourself to say that you don't mess with women if you're a woman, or that you don't mess with niggas or dudes if you're a man.
All right, I guess that's it. Podcast over.
Podcast over. Cut. No.
Thank you. You know where to find us at? It's like, nah.
No, but what are your thoughts though? And then we'll get deep.
I don't have no more to say.
Do you feel the same way?
Yes.
Why do you feel the same way?
The same exact reasons that you just said.
No, tell me.
Because I'm not strange.
Right.
All right, so I wanted you to hit on the women with men friends, and I was going to hit on the man.
Okay, we can do that still.
With all women friends.
So right, since you feel the same way, let's start with the men then, because you let me start with what I thought about the subject. So you start with the men.
I want to ask you a question first before we go into the whys and the in-depths about that. Right?
Uh-oh.
Would you be in a relationship with a man who only had women friends?
I don't think I've ever been in a relationship with a man who only had women friends, but I've definitely been in a relationship with a man who had the majority women friends.
So the majority of his friends were women.
Yes.
So I think that's fair to say it's almost
red
the same.
flag.
All right. Why is it a huge red flag?
Well, that's the in-depth part that we were about to hit on. So that's why I'm like, okay. Anyway,
well, since you have the experience,
okay,
because I don't have the experience of being with a woman that has majority male friends. I don't think any of the women I've been with really had any male friends.
Oh, okay. Well, then let me go.
All right.
So one reason why it was a huge red flag for me is because I always wondered why the one male that he did hang out with, the one friend that he did hang out with, was somebody from his past, like the person who he used to be, who was still kind of like living. He was kind of like teeter-tottering, in the same sort of way.
Past
like
life.
it didn't seem like there was a whole lot of progression there. And obviously, I don't know, right? Like, he will only tell me certain things, but it seemed like that person was holding him accountable to the things that had already happened to him in the past, and he wasn't really allowing him to move forward. Which I think there is a level of
I think that's big that you seen that as a girlfriend, because people don't. I had got a lot of flack for when I said, if I don't like your friends, I wouldn't be with you. Like, I wouldn't engage in a relationship with that person.
They gave you.
Yeah, a lot of people agreed. Don't get me wrong. It was more people that agreed than the people that disagreed. But the people that disagreed, like, really voiced their opinions.
Well, what did they say?
Some people don't. They don't believe, like, some people don't believe that birds of a feather flock together. Yeah.
I didn't used to.
But I had to break this down to the guys at work the day before yesterday. And I told him, because he said, I don't believe that, Zoe. He said, it could be, there's always one good girl in a group of thoughts or whatever. There could always be that one. Now, granted, I do know a couple of girls that ain't loose like that hang with girls that are loose.
Yeah, I mean, there's exceptions to every rule.
But I don't even think there are exceptions, though, because here's the thing. Just because she's not loose doesn't mean she isn't a bird of that feather.
Right.
So, and I told him, I said, let me break this down. She don't have to be a hoe. She ain't got to be out there like that, right? But these are her friends. You know that these are her friends, right? Or this is her family. You know that this is how her close family is, but it's not how she is. Give it a chance that you and her have a disagreement. Y'all at odds or something. Who are the people she's running to?
When she's asking for advice.
She's running to the ones, the hoes, the people that her family that you already question their moral ethics or whatever.
Yeah.
She's going to these people that you already don't approve of.
Right.
And so you saying birds of a feather don't fly together. She's going to the people that you don't like for consolation or for advice about her relationship with you. And he's like, this is his words, my man words, where he's like, you right. That's the problem I had with my ex. He's like, that's the problem I had with my ex. That's why we couldn't work out too. Hey.
And even, going a little bit deeper, it should ring a 5-alarm fire bell when you know that that's where she finds her safety, in the hose.
See? But it's big that you looked and you said, you can tell what kind of man his friend was just by what he's telling you. And you're peeping like these are the things you're lacking because this is your accountability.
Exactly.
So you're here and he's here, but this dude is trying to hold you accountable. It just doesn't match up.
And that's what I never said that though. I never said that because I realized like that kind of thing wouldn't come from somebody like me. He wouldn't be able to hear it because that's his day one, right? You know what I mean? Like people don't want to hear stuff like that about their day one, but I always wonder like, well, why do you hang with somebody who you're clearly way smarter than? You're not even in the same, no shade,
no,
right?
But
it's like you're not even y'all not even in the same tax bracket. Like, no, and I don't think, I'm not one of those type of people who, just because a person doesn't make as much money as me, like I'm not going to be their friend. But you know what I'm saying as far as men are concerned.
Yeah, so.
Iron sharpens iron.
Quick story, just to deviate a little bit. In different areas of life, you need different people for levels of accountability. I talked to Joaquin, I love this dude, man. He's just so true to himself. Joaquin reached a level, and he said this. He said this out loud. He reached a level in his career where financially and in accomplishments, he doesn't have any peers that are on that level. Even his pastor, even in Mo, he's like, he's not on that. So he recognizes the fact of the matter is he's just up here when it comes to career accomplishments, money and everything above his whole peer group. So what he did was he seen it, I forgot what magazine or book he was reading. It had like top 10 black executive level or CEOs in America. And he reached out to each one of them. And he said, I think like 2 or 3 of them hit him back, but only one really, I don't want to say who the dude worked for and everything, but he reached back out to him and they built their relationship. He wasn't a day one or anything, but it was big for this man to say, I need some kind of accountability or some kind of guidance in this area, because now I'm at a place where none of my friends are there. Nobody can guide me in this area.
Yep.
Let me reach out to somebody else. That's maturity. Most men ain't thinking like that. And what you have is a level of maturity and discernment also, to where you're looking at your significant other and you saying his level of accountability ain't matching up.
Right.
Like who you got holding you accountable ain't, not to say we're subservient or that some people are higher or superior or inferior, but it's not matching up. Like you're clearly on a different level than this guy. And as a woman, that should be a concern, especially for a man, because this is the guy that you are supposed to be being led by.
Yeah.
The guy that you want protecting you, the guy you want serving you, the guy that you're supposed to be entrusting your life with. So that's definitely should be a area of concern.
Yeah, and it definitely was. And I think for me, I think that's also the reason why I was able to see everybody else, right? I saw that everybody else was a woman. Yeah. You know what I mean? And how he was so, and I don't think that there's anything necessarily wrong with the fact that he wanted to. It's almost like he felt so empowered by the women around him. And that's the part where I was like, it became concerning to me, not because of jealousy or anything like that, but just in a sense of like, I understand what a woman can do for a man. Like I understand the power of a woman because I am a woman, right? But every woman doesn't understand the power of a woman. So I don't want that to be mistaken. Every woman does not understand that. I understand it though. So when I would hear things like, you know, him telling me the praises that he's getting while he's at work and all this other stuff, a part of me was like, okay, that's what you want. That's what you need. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see it though. Yeah. It was very clear to me. It didn't take me that long to figure that out. Yeah. But when I think about a man who has or keeps a lot of women around him, to me, I feel like there are a number of things that are happening, and that's one of them, right? There's that empowerment that they feel like they have to feel recognized. Oh, thank you so much for fixing that. We really need that man around. Thank you so much. Like I'm gonna
help you out on it. Go ahead, keep going.
Now go ahead.
There is, I don't know if it's empowerment. I guess that is the word.
Yeah, like you're being seen, like, oh, we really need you. Like,
man, yeah, because, and I think I told you this before, I had to check myself, like, why am I comfortable being around all these women? And because I was like, I found myself, I can't remember if he was at the church, whatever it was. Yeah, I think it was at the church. I was talking with Tasha and Chanel and whoever else or whatever, and laughing and everything while the men was upstairs. I'm like, why am I down here with these he and with these women? Like, these are my sisters. I love them. Nothing wrong with that and everything. But my level of comfort I was so comfortable in everything that it made me like, hold up.
Well, let me stop you there though. Yeah. Because there is nothing necessarily wrong with the fact that you felt comfortable. No. Because we are nurturers. Right. So that's what I wanted to add, right? So the next thing I was going to say, so with the, like, you know, him feeling empowered because he was surrounded by these women, there's also this emotional responsibility that women have and they know how to deal with because we are allowed to be emotional. So it kind of takes a lot of that off of you. And
y'all easy to make laugh.
That's what it is, though. We can be that. We can like laugh loud. We can be sad. We can, you know what I mean? We can express emotion. So you don't have to carry around a lot of emotional baggage when it comes to women, because oftentimes we're the one, whenever somebody sits in my chair, my question is always, how are you doing? How was your day? You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm the same way with my man. How was your day? Like, I want to know how everything went for you, even if you don't want to talk about it. What I'm doing is I'm tapping into the emotion. Yeah. Most of the time, y'all not really like, that was your day, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all not giving that, right?
So sometimes we do.
Okay, that's good.
No, it's not often.
Okay, but it's good though. We practice it,
we're like, man, it was good, man.
Yeah, but it don't give that, right? It's a soft place to land, is what I'm saying, basically. So if you do find a man who does have a lot of female friends or women friends, to me, I feel like it's a soft place for them to land. Like, it's easy. A little more than they're not very much. So he wasn't really super emotional. Yeah. He was very much like closed off, you know, that sort of thing.
With you?
So I think I just in general, like as a guy, like as a man, he's like he's not very like, well, let me tell you how I feel. He would even tell you like when he can't come up with whatever he wants to say, he will shut down. You know what I mean?
But
and
I
think
that with his
women,
friends?
right? But I think we can pull it out. That's the thing. When you love us, we can pull it out.
So that's the difference. So if he would do that, he would do that with you, but would he do that on the same level with his friends?
Well, no, because and we talked about that too. His whole thing was they know me.
So he's more for one, it's a different dynamic in the relationship too.
Yes.
So sometimes a man feel like I can't be soft because we have this like protective bravado, provider bravado. We got this kind of sense for the woman that we're with that I can't afford to be down here with it. But when you have, I believe your partner should be your friend anyway.
I agree.
When you have women friends, like they provide a different dynamic to where you could. I don't trust it because I know women talk. So I don't have many. I got women that I'm cool with. I don't have many women friends. Like I think you're like my only woman friend that I would actually consider like a true friend. Everybody else might consider like sisters or we just cool. But there is like when you have like a homie, you could, especially if she's a woman, she's more receptive of that emotional side and everything. Like most men, we don't even know how to. We gonna rock with you. We gonna ride it out with you. But even still, when you're confiding in me like emotionally and everything as a man, like I still have my masculinity on. I still have but when you're sharing that, if I'm a woman and you're sharing that with a woman, it's like you're releasing that emotion onto something softer, onto something that's more caring, nurturing, as you were saying. But what I'm about to say, it's gonna be bold. I don't care.
Say it.
But I always feel like this. You always should be wary of a man that has like all women friends. Like always question why a man comedian is only funny to like majority women. Like always be wary of a pastor who congregation is like 90% women. Like I don't care what nobody says. Like manly men attract manly men. Not in a gay way, but a manly man could tell a manly man when he sees one. And manly men want to stand together. They want to rock with manly men. But it's easier for us. That's why I had to check myself. Like, why am I really down here? It's easier for us. We're easily accepted by women. It's easier to make women laugh. Not saying that it's a bad thing, but it's easier to make women laugh. It's easier to communicate with them. And so a lot of times we're taking the easy way out. It's like I could just be around a lot of women, but just because it's easier to do it. And I just really had to check myself on it. Like, man, let me go be with my men, man. Let me go be with my fellas. Like you said, there ain't nothing wrong with being able to. I think you should be able to. That's gonna be the other side of it. I think you should be able to have a friend of the opposite sex that you could actually be cool with. I just think it's a problem if you only want to be around.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, I'd be doing a lot of reading and stuff like that. So I read about some men who were saying that for them, because they weren't into a lot of the quote unquote masculine things, like they don't like sports. Yeah. They don't, you know what I mean? Like it was certain things that they kept on naming, like, because they weren't into those like naturally masculine things or what people consider as masculine. They were saying that it was harder for them to, and the aggression of a male, like they weren't very aggressive. They weren't very hardcore with their language, even with, the way in which they were personified. They said that they had an issue with making a lot of male friends.
Because of that.
Yep. And so they said that naturally, like, they would be able to talk to women. And another thing that they said was a lot of times when they wanted to have, I don't know if they didn't use necessarily better conversations, but like deeper conversations. They would say that like when you talk to women, like it's a little easier for you to have those sort of like elevated conversations.
It is because, like you said, women are nurturers. So women, I ain't gonna say, I don't want to generalize all women with this, but just like you naturally care. And so you would naturally like ask questions like that. How was your day and be serious? Like, how are you doing? And it's a serious question. most men ain't really asking that. But if I asked one of my homies, man, what's good with you, man? We've been up. And he'd be like, man, I've been going through it. It's not. Many people think like nobody wants to hear that. Like, oh, all right, man, will you be safe? Mm-hmm. It's actually somebody, man, I be going like, man, what's going on, man? Let's rap. Mm-hmm. Like men do that more often than people think we do. Mm-hmm. Like we actually do care. We're not going to give you that. See, some men still want to be coddled. Mm-hmm. Especially in this culture, in this time where we've been raised by women, like too much of our men have been raised by single parents, single mothers and everything. They still want to be coddled. They still want to be cared for. Mm-hmm. And when you don't have that manly love growing up, like that authoritative figure of a father, of a man, because the way we nurture also, but the way we nurture is necessary for a boy to become a man. So it's different. Mm-hmm. So, but when you don't feel that love, that's what I was talking about when I was talking to Mo about that song that was saying, great is your faithfulness.
Yes.
Talking about God. Like a lot of men have never had that male figure, that father figure that was completely faithful to his son and growing up. And I'm not saying faithful like he didn't have other families. I'm saying like he was 100% sold out on your well-being. Mm-hmm. Like he cared about your emotions. He wanted to help mature you, show you how to make decisions, teach you about women. You never had somebody that always had your back in that. And so as men, we don't really know how to accept that from other men. And not only do we not know how to accept it, we don't know how to seek it from other men. Mm-hmm. And some men may be like, I don't need to seek that from another man. I'm a grown man. Why would I need to seek that from another man?
Right.
But we were made for a relationship.
That's it right there.
We were built for a relationship. And with relationship comes accountability. With relationship comes that unconditional love. Mm-hmm. Like I should want to be able to pour into my brother. I should want to be able to be there for him. Mm-hmm. Amari Hardwick said, I don't know if you watched this podcast, this episode. Amari Hardwick was on the Pivot podcast with Fred Taylor, Ryan Clark, and Shannon. And he expressed, it was a beautiful thing. I've never seen nothing like it. But he expressed his love for black men. Mm-hmm. He's married to a white woman, but he expresses his love and how much he cares for his brothers and how much he wants to pour into his brothers. And we don't. And what that showed, what I never seen before, like I think he so eloquently put it, and like how he expressed it was so beautiful. What he showed was how brotherhood should be, and it had like the masculine feel, but then it had like the male nurturing feel that we need, but we don't know how to give it, or we don't know how to receive it because many of us lacked it as a child. And so when we put ourselves in the cares of women, like just have all women friends or whatever and everything, like that's exactly what that is. It's because you don't even know how to hold yourself accountable to another male. Yeah. Or let another male hold you accountable, let another male actually care for you. And it sounds, some people like, man, it just sounds gay, let another male. We were built for a relationship. Yeah. That is exactly why we're here.
And I think that's something that I observed too, right? Like I think the language, and maybe he didn't mean it that way, right? Because I always like to give people, you know how I am. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. But the language was always, I can help them. A lot of times I didn't hear a lot of like, well, I'm going to look for a guy who can hold me accountable. Somebody who's smarter than me. Yeah. It was always like, I got my man. Right. Yeah. And it's like, not to say anything about this dude, but like he's seen you through your madness. Yeah. And it's not to say that you can't always like look back to know where you've gone. But I still feel like, again, iron sharpens iron. Like you can't go sharpening your knife, your iron, sword against,
cotton.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it man cotton. Red. It was like more like a good piece of plastic or something. You know what I mean? And it could have been a sharp piece of plastic. Yeah, or wood. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I feel like you don't have to necessarily discredit. So I'm not trying to be that person, right? I'm not trying to discredit this other man at all.
It just is what it is. This is what you say.
Yes, you see the potential in a man, especially women. Like a lot of times we do see the potential in a man, right? So when we see the potential in a man, we realize like, that's why, and come on, fellas. Like, I'm talking to y'all straight up. The reason why your woman does not like your friends is because she knows that these friends are not going to help you get to your next level.
Right. Your potential far exceeds.
Yes. Like you're not going to get there because you have all these weights. even with you, I've said something
That's
like
tough.
that similar to you. Like, it's nice that you're
I'm listening.
carrying,
Yeah.
this situation like you are, but just know that this could be something that's going to hold you back too.
Yeah.
But your whole thing was, well, I have this platter and I want to be able to help these people up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, maybe that's not your job.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I know that it's like you said, it's easier to go alone than it is to carry the whole group.
Yeah.
Especially when you have the yoke on your neck and I got the yoke on my neck, and I just don't feel like doing anything today. But you want to walk. See if you can carry me.
Yeah. Now I got
And
to
if
pull
it's
my weight and your
3
weight.
other people,
Yeah.
yeah, nah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I was feeling like, yo, like, I get what you're saying. And then you know that it really was a situation that was very volatile because of the fact that I didn't even feel like I had the authority to tell him that. Like, we supposed
As
to
a
be like, you
girlfriend?
want
No.
to be my husband though.
Yeah.
And I didn't even feel like I had the authority. Like, I didn't feel like I could even step into that. And
Yeah.
call it what it
That
was.
a
I mean,
boundary
I'll
you
take
didn't wanna
mine.
cross.
Exactly.
But this is the thing. So as a girlfriend, I would say no.
Right.
As a fiance, that's definitely a line you want to cross because now you're talking about your forever future. So do you want to have to deal with this?
But do you start having the conversation after he asked you to marry him and y'all already, like, that that's his homeboy? Like, that y'all been together for 2 years and that's been his homeboy for 2 years?
Definitely. I think that's completely fair.
Really?
100%.
So you don't say anything before that?
You can.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, you you
Yeah.
just
But I'm saying
well,
once,
thank
once
you.
this,
But since
once
it's
this
on
happens,
there, that's
once
what I'm
this happens,
saying.
you better say something.
But that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So do you say it once, like, thank you, boo, this is so pretty. Well, let me tell you about your friends. Or are you
I don't
saying
know
it
if
as
you
the
do it-
girlfriend
I
because
don't know
you're
if you do it
observing?
right at that moment.
But you don't say anything until you have a ring on your finger.
I'm not telling you to say something. I'm not telling you not to say something.
Oh,
Do it at your own
okay.
discretion.
'Cause I
What
feel
I'm
like you should
saying
start
is,
before that.
at the moment, you should. You probably should.
Yeah.
If you build for it. But
Yeah, I think you go harder when
once
you got a
this
ring on your
happens-
finger.
once this happens, because now y'all making an agreement upon something that's forever. Once this happens, whatever issues are on the table
Lay it down.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we're
up
not
that, lay
we're
it
not gonna
down.
go into the marriage with a whole.
Yeah.
I don't really approve of your friends.
Yeah.
That engagement is when I get engaged. I told you if we already agree on being married, we already to that point.
Y'all
I'm like,
there.
we can go there next week.
Yeah, y'all married.
Let's go to the courthouse next week.
Yeah.
I want to have sex right now. It's like, but
But yeah, so that's it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that those are the dynamics. I don't think I do feel like there is that, right? So we named 3 things. We said the empowerment. What was the second one? The second one was the emotional
that
responsibility,
nurturing, yeah.
and then the fact that they are scared of that sort of like accountability.
accountability.
Yeah. So that covers men.
Yeah.
The women.
So my ex, I lied. My ex did have her best friend was a male.
Okay.
My last
How did
ex.
it? First of all, how did it make you feel?
No, I didn't feel no way about it at all.
You didn't care.
I didn't care at all. Not saying I didn't care in an insensitive way. I'm just not an insecure person.
Right.
And I didn't even find out like she had a male best friend until after we got into a relationship.
But it still didn't matter.
It still didn't matter.
That's how it was. I didn't.
And 1, he was married. 2, he didn't even live here. I think he lived like in Atlanta or something. Not that matters because married men cheat also.
I was gonna say that.
He's from here, so he could come home too. But it didn't. For 1, I don't choose women that cheat. I know people be like, hey, so everybody cheat. I just don't believe that.
I don't believe that either.
I just don't believe it. And 2, like the
Well, you're not a cheater, so
yeah,
you know that.
but most men are.
I'm not a cheater either. I wasn't implying that I am.
Yeah, but most men are, and
Yeah.
many women are. I ain't gonna say most women, but many women are.
Yeah.
But I just know the type of person that I deal with. It's not in their character to do that. And even if my significant other does cheat, I'm leaving. I'm not about to be here all hurt and sobbing over you trying to make this thing work. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So I'm not about to be insecure about you doing whatever. And because if I get into a relationship with you, that means I trust your character enough I don't care if you had 14 male best friends, you gonna be truthful and faithful to me.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I'm not getting in a relationship with somebody. I wouldn't get into a relationship if I asked myself that question. A woman that had nothing but like all male friends. No, I'm not getting into. I'm not dealing with her. I'm same reasons, vice versa.
She can have a male best friend, but she can't have a gang of, like, that's all she deal with is dudes.
All she deal with is dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there is a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's for one.
But you've never dealt with that.
She had somebody that had all male friends. No, I haven't. Yeah. I've never dealt with that.
Yeah.
And I've only seen it a few times. Like I've known plenty of women that say like, I don't hang with girls. Like I don't hang with women.
I hear that too, but it'd be the ones that got all like a bunch of girlfriends though. Yeah. And it's like, what are you trying to prove? Who do you think you're like? Who
you lying to?
Yeah, I don't mess with females, and it's like, first of all, I can't stand that whole females thing. But what do you think you are? You don't mess
like
with yourself?
Yeah,
no, really. Oftentimes they don't. So let's just go ahead and get there.
Probably it.
Right? So there are a lot of women who don't mess with females because they don't love themselves. And I'll say it, I'll stamp it. I don't care. Come at me. They don't mess with females because they don't like themselves. But that's not the only reason, right? There are a lot of women, and I'm going to say include myself, who partake in activities that can be very toxic, and some women are not toxic. It might be, unbelievable because we haven't come across a lot of them, right? And I'm not included in that category. I can be toxic.
Toxic.
I can be. I'm not saying that I live in that, lane or whatever, but I can be toxic. I mean, let's call a thing a thing. Gossip is something that has been passed down from generation to generation in a black woman. Let's say what it is. So if that's the case, then how? Me? No.
All right.
Wait, huh? No, I'm saying.
Is it good gossip? Is there such thing as good gossip?
I don't think so. I think gossip is gossip. When you're talking about somebody else, like if you're giving other people the good news about somebody else, anyway, it's always because there's a chance that you're gonna. I think so. I think so, but I don't know. Don't quote me on it. Right, but I think so because obviously. So have you ever played the game Telephone?
Yeah.
In Telephone, what happens?
It always gets changed up.
Exactly. And that's why I don't think that there's ever really necessarily good gossip, because if somebody's going to change the verbiage of it and it's going to become something completely different. Intent.
So the game Telephone, the verbiage changes because communication just changes through translation. Like if
that's
I tell
the same thing that happens when we're speaking plain English, AJ.
Yeah, but gossip is intentionally like spilling tea, as y'all would say it, about somebody else, which majority of the time isn't good.
But that's not always the case.
Let me tell you about what this girl told me about her boyfriend in the chair, or whatever the hell. I don't know. I don't know how. It can be like
such and such is pregnant, and somebody. Okay, let me tell you how. I'm just going right here.
All right, let's do it. Exactly.
I could be like such and such is pregnant to you, and I'm happy. I'm like, yo, like they about to have a girl. Like it's gonna be so lit, and you're like, they're not married. Boom. They done had you know what I mean, a baby out of wedlock. Things like that.
That's not gossip on your behalf, though.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like if you're Telephone, I'm saying what I'm saying. They're having a baby, and you took it as they're having a baby out of wedlock.
You go like this,
and then you tell her,
she's pregnant. The girl ain't even married. Yeah,
adding your own stuff to it, so it all comes through that funnel. But
Darah told me, such and such is pregnant. Yeah.
It's keeping. I feel like gossip on a basic level, and we can look it up. Maybe that'd be another episode. But gossip, I think, on a basic level, is just telling business that is not your own. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Let's see what it is. Rumor or talk of personal, sensational, or intimate nature. A person who habitually spreads intimate or private rumors or facts. Trivial, chatty talk or writing. A close friend or companion, chiefly British, a godparent, whatever. I don't know.
So it doesn't have anything to do with another person?
No, that's what it says.
Oh, okay, about other people. Yeah, that's what I meant. So if I'm telling you, so it's okay for me to tell you the good news about my life, but when you go and talk about other people, about my stuff to other people, then that's when it becomes gossip.
Personal, intimate facts and stuff. Yeah, got you.
So there we are. So we've cleared that up. But anyway, what I was saying was there are some women who do not fit into that mold, right? They don't do the gossiping, or they don't, there are certain prejudices that women carry, like that we love to shop, or that we do the fake nails and the fake hair and the fake, lashes and all this other stuff. Like that's like our thing.
Yeah.
And some women don't subscribe to that, or they don't wear makeup. And so I can't do that because like I don't wear makeup. So I feel, out of place.
Yeah.
But again, I still think that it's an inner issue because there are a lot of things that I don't do that other women do. And I feel just as comfortable as I can be around them. Mm-hmm. You can talk about how you shop till you drop. I don't like to shop till I drop. I like to shop for what I want. I don't like to spend hours and hours in the mall. But if that's what you like to do, let's talk about it, sis. I might even go to the mall with you. But that's because I love women.
You do your shopping
I
online.
love myself.
Say that.
No, it's not a threat to me. It's not a threat to my character.
I got you.
That you like to do something. You know what I mean? Or that you don't wear, you wear a lot of makeup and I don't wear any. I feel just as comfortable in front of a woman with a full face as I would a woman who doesn't have on any makeup.
Well, to be fair, your natural face is more beautiful than a lot of women's face with makeup.
You're biased.
I'm not
Think
biased.
so?
I'm not biased though.
Well, thank you.
Don't y'all think? Look, Shadow. Don't y'all think so?
No. Kim said that the other day, and I was just like, no, I don't have on makeup. I just have a really good tan, I guess.
See, you should have said, I don't have on makeup. I just have a really beautiful face.
No. But no, so I think going back to the subject, I think that there are, when it comes to women who feel more comfortable with men, I think that there's something inside of them, right? That they feel unworthy or they feel lost from. Like there's not, they can't make that connection, I guess. With the other women.
Side, maybe.
Yeah, with their feminine side. Yeah. And it's not necessarily feminine side because I don't think it's necessarily feminine to shop. I know men who shop.
That's their femininity coming out of them.
I don't know. So, fashion, I don't necessarily know if fashion is a feminine thing because I know some men who be dressing down and they're not necessarily feminine.
They might not be feminine. They might be effeminine. Say, nah.
You stupid. But no, so, tag, I forgot. I lost my...
I'm sorry.
It was something... No, you're fine. Oh, no, but I do know that there are some women who just really enjoy the company of men because of how easygoing men can be.
Yeah.
You guys really
enjoy the company of women.
Right. But women, sometimes we can be catty towards each other for no apparent reason at all. Yeah. There's just like the level of unspoken competition that some women carry. I don't carry that. I don't have a reason to compete with any other woman. But I think that's the reason why I don't have a problem with meeting women. I never have a problem with like the mean girls. I'm always like, hey, boo, and it's fine. It's never like, I never take anything personal with them. Mean girls. Yeah, because there are those, right? The ones who already have a scowl when you come into the room. It doesn't matter who they're talking to. They're always mad for some reason. Yeah. It's always somebody else's fault, like that sort of thing. But what I'm saying is some women cannot deal with that. Don't want to, unarm you. They just want to be somewhere where they feel safe. And a lot of times they feel safe around men. Yeah. Like y'all are so easy. Y'all are so, easy to
when
get
they not trying to hump.
That part.
Yeah. But I think that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't deal with somebody that only has man friends.
Because you would think that she probably had sex with one of them at least.
So I don't know, but like I told you, the women I'm going to get in a relationship, I trust their character. But especially if she's a looker, somebody's trying to hit. Yeah, one of them dudes done made a pass. If they didn't already, they done tried their hand.
Does that matter to you though?
Yeah, it does matter to me. But and it's not.
Well, what if you found out like she hasn't smashed any of her homies?
It's cool, but this is the thing. I told you the character of woman I deal with,
right?
Wouldn't even put herself in those situations. I'm going to have a problem with it if me and her are in a relationship and this dude, I don't trust him to not still be trying to make passes like that because he's going to feel I knew her, you the new dude, me and her cool, we've been friends forever, and for some reason in your mind it's not clicking in you. It's not clicking in your little brain for some reason. They're like, let me stop being around this person because he keeps trying to have sex with me. He keeps making slick little comments. He keeps trying to grab my butt on the slide. Whatever's going on. Why isn't it clicking in your mind to stop hanging with this dude? That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. I might not say it. I'm just because I don't want to have to tell you like to respect yourself or to respect our relationship, I'm just not going to engage in that type of relationship with you.
Yes.
We can still be cool. You know, I ain't going to be like you a bad person.
And I can understand
be my
that.
Person.
Mm-hmm. I can totally understand that. Like a part of me is wondering if that was what happened in my last relationship, where it's like he didn't understand that like you are. I don't keep. He's not gonna just know this, but I don't keep men around me to big my head up and to tell me how sexy I am all the time or to make me feel better about the person I exist as. Mm-hmm. Right. So the reason why you and I are so close is because you're not the type of person who continues to press my boundaries. Because I am that girl who will just then let you go. Like, you have a wonderful life. I've done it before. But that's not something that he knew. And that's not something that I would expect for him to know either. But it's not something that I would be able to even really explain. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, like I'm not
going
to
explain it though. We're very practical.
I think so, but at the end of the day, most men, and this is just me being super biased right now, and I just feel like being like, you know, that girl. I feel like most men are not emotionally mature enough to realize that like,
they're not.
Everybody ain't like you, dog. Or every man ain't trying to sleep with your woman.
It's not that they're not emotionally mature enough. It's just that you look at me, I'm different, and
they don't think that you're different.
Many men that know me will tell you, nah, AJ just different. Like, nah, Zoe different.
Yeah,
he ain't.
But don't nobody think that. Who don't know you?
Nah, they don't.
Like
but
like everybody else.
But in their defense, they're men. We're naturally providers. We're naturally protectors. We think with that first when it comes to our women. So we're not. I don't care about his character. I'm thinking protect you and protect this relationship from anything that could be a threat. He's perceived as a threat. Like, he ain't my friend. I don't know him. Whatever's going on over there is perceived as a threat. So let me protect this from that. I'm not even, if I perceive it as a threat initially, I'm not trying to get to know him. I'm not trying to figure out whether it is or whether it's not. I'm just trying to protect what we have from that. And that's most men's thinking. And I understand that.
I get that now.
I'm just not like that. Like, I want to have the type of relationship where I completely trust my woman, and because she wants to be with me, because she loves me, because she honors God, because she cherishes this relationship, she's not going to do anything to put that relationship in jeopardy.
And that's a big part too. Yeah. Right? Like, and I just had this conversation with one of my homegirls. I said, you just have to trust God enough to know that I have a relationship with him and I wouldn't want to let him down. Right? And everybody don't have that. Yeah. Everybody don't. Some people really think that there's a place on this earth that they can go where God is not watching them. I don't feel like I have that liberty. Yeah, okay. No. So if I cheat on him or if I do anything that is not, conducive to us having a very peaceful union, I'm going to get the conviction from God. There's nothing that he could possibly do.
And it'll get exposed.
Exactly.
Because when you have a relationship with God, it's not only accountability doesn't only go this way.
Exactly.
Accountability goes this way also. And so
absolutely. And
what's done in the dark your sins will find you out, and you don't get to dictate how they will. Yes. It will get exposed at some point in time. For one, us men, when we know our women, like when you're in a real relationship where we're emotionally invested, we're mentally invested with each other, like we know each other, we know when you stepped out.
Exactly.
Like, I don't gotta ask you. When that guilt weighs on you too, when you convicted by something, we know.
Yeah.
It ain't nobody stupid. You heard Will Smith book when he talked about his girl cheated when he left or whatever, came back and she was something in his intuition told him that she cheated, and he just said something like, he didn't accuse her. What did he say? Like, I know what you did or something, and then she just came out. Yep. And confessed, broke his little heart. Yeah, but we know, it's like women know. It's not just a women thing. Like the gut feeling, the intuition, it's not just a women thing.
Nope.
Y'all might just hide it better than us, but we know. Yeah. Like you could tell when you're really invested with somebody. Yeah.
And that's the part you have to be really invested though.
Yeah. If y'all just humping, doing the boyfriend girlfriend thing, humping, living together, just because it looks right or you feel like this is what we're supposed to do. But when we're one, Like, nah, you know.
Yeah, you do.
When you really in love with somebody and you, however, whatever that means for you.
Because sex is spiritual.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, call a spade.
Even without sex involved. Like, I know, I could tell when you feel a certain way. I could tell if I'm bothering you or whatever. I could tell like if you're irritated at something and everything. Like, you know, when you share a space with somebody, like when you share a space in somebody's life, you know when something's different.
If you're paying attention
off.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're paying attention. But if you're cheating too, you're not gonna you're not gonna notice because you so busy.
Yeah, both of y'all
whatever.
just doing your own thing. You don't even neither one of you need to be in a relationship.
Yeah, but so that's what I always say. Like, there's nothing that I can say to convince you that I'm not doing it, but there's also nothing that you can say that would be worse than, like, I liken it to, like, you know how your parents, people say that they would rather their parents yell at them or, like, you know, spank them or whatever, but when their parent says, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
And they walk away, that's like, no, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel like when I know I've done something that is not, you know, that goes against God and our relationship. Yeah. Because to me, that's most important. I'm sorry. Like, no shade to this guy. To me, that is most important. That guy, I'm sorry, sir. Like,
yeah, gotta be
him first. Yeah. I mean, you, but like him first. So like, if I'm doing something wrong to him, then this can't work anyway. You know, but everybody don't understand that.
You know what I respect about my guys?
What's that?
They solid, man. These dudes solid.
You talking about the guys you hang out with?
Yeah, my guys. Yeah. You know, my accountability guys, man, that I'm walking with. Oh, they all said to their wives, if you make me have to choose between you and God,
I'm gonna choose God.
You gonna lose.
Yep. Yeah.
And
it says to their wives,
the woman that they're gonna spend the rest of their life with, like, don't make me choose between you and God. That's the type of man you want in your life.
Period.
And men too. You want a woman that's gonna, if you're in line with God, she gonna follow you. But you want a woman who knows God for herself, that speaks to God, that has a relationship with God, and that will hold you accountable if you're walking outside of righteousness, if you're walking outside of the will of God.
And that's why I'm okay. Like, of course, you know, I feel a way about it, but when you know God and you know, like, what you've been praying about, see, I know what my prayers are about. I'm very aware of the fact that I'm praying about a thing. Like, I tell God, like, yo, if this ain't for me, please get it out. Yeah. Remove it. You don't be ready when it happens. Like, we was talking about that today. Like, sometimes you look up, me and Lady Mel were talking about that. We was like, how we be praying for something, then it happened. You be like,
that was quick.
Yeah. Yes, because that was her thing. Her thing was like, you know, God had blessed her, you know, to be able to come out of her job, and that's something that she had been praying for, like, because she wants to be more involved in the church.
Catch you by surprise sometimes.
And it was like her husband was like, Pastor Juan was like, no, go ahead. Like, I feel all is right with my soul. Yeah. And she was like, wait, because we just lost people at the job. Like, we need to look. And it's just like, it happens. Yes. Yeah. And that's kind of how it happened for me too. Like, I had just been praying, like, and when you make bold prayers like that, you gotta be okay with, like, how God shows up. Yeah. And I don't think I was really ready for the way that he was gonna show up, but that's why all is well in my soul, because I trust in him, right?
Because we pray a thing and expect on how it should look.
Right, because I'm thinking he gonna just make us closer and closer and closer. I was like, no, man.
Wrong.
This ain't it. Okay. Like,
yeah, you praying and think you like, this is how it's gonna turn out, and this is steady going like, God, that's not what I prayed for. Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, like, you said it.
Yes,
you said it. So yeah, so that's why we have to like remember those things, like, and just be okay with, like, whatever it is that he shows us. Like, he carries us.
You know the funny thing though?
What?
He will, if you fight it, he will let you go ahead.
I've been in those situations.
Like, look, you asked me for this, but you keep fighting it, so go ahead. And then it ends up a whole lot worse than what it was before.
You've been in situations a lot longer than you should have been in them. Yeah. Yeah, like, wait. Y'all still together?
I've done things knowing that God stopped me from doing it, or knowing that he put, like, look, you asked me to help you protect you from your own self. This is me doing it, and I recognize it. Like, where it says where temptation is, he also gives a way out. Yep. There's been times where I recognized the way out and was like, nah, that's not it.
I'm not gonna go out that door. Yes.
Yeah.
I walked into a whole
Whole
median.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So-
but it definitely grows you up though. Like it definitely grew me up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like any adversity just grows me up. So
Yeah.
yeah, but going back to
supposed
the
to be.
original topic though, what are the good reasons why?
Hold up.
Like
hold up. We
Oh, wait,
we
I'm
ain't done
sorry.
with the bad yet.
sorry.
We can end with it. I want to end with the good.
Okay, let's do that.
All right. Yeah. We probably almost hit on this. What does it say about people who only hang with the opposite sex? We hit on that, didn't we?
Yeah, pretty much. I did.
Alright.
Okay. So, do you think that I think we established that there's nothing wrong with your significant other having a best friend of the opposite sex, though.
So we are different.
Mm-hmm.
We are different. Most people, matter of fact, let me say this. I have not run into another male who is okay with their woman having a male best friend.
Okay.
Not one.
No, me either.
Not one. I'm talking about even my brothers, my men, people I've asked at work, not one. They got male friends, but they say best friend, like, hell nah.
Yeah.
I better be her best friend.
Yeah.
I have not. We different. I don't have a problem with that. One is because this, right? When I say best friend, I think it means something different than what other people mean when they say best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like my ex, her best friend, I think that's just her only male friend. So she, and they was tight, so she called her best friend or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm confident in myself. I'm so confident in myself, and the woman that I choose, the woman that I'm in a relationship with, that our bond is going to be our bond. Something that whatever the hell it is she got with him, it's going to be incomparable.
That's not, and that's how I feel. But even with you, I don't feel like whatever it is that I established with my husband is going to be anything like our relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking for it to be that way.
Yeah.
And it's not to slight our relationship because it is what it is,
You
right?
talking about I'm not enough? I'm some shit.
No.
Oh, all right. Go ahead. Finish.
No, but even with your wife, like I don't feel like it's one of those things where you, like you just said, you literally just said that, like you're not going to be looking for it to be the same dynamic. Like it's going to be
not.
something more special because I think that there's a place even that you're still saving for that person.
I'm not. Me personally, I don't look at it like I'm saving this space for my wife. I know what I'm doing right now is I'm being completely true to every relationship that I have. Whenever I get into an intimate relationship, romantic relationship with whoever it is, I'm going to be completely true to that. I don't know what it's going to look like, boom, boom, boom. But I know when I'm with somebody, I'm committed. I'm all in with this right here.
And I can just respect that.
There are no threats.
And I can just respect that. Like I get that.
Yeah.
Whereas with me, there is, and while women, we don't really compartmentalize. There is a compartment that has not been uncovered for me, and it will not be because I don't allow anybody to have it. Nobody has had it yet.
How will you get a husband if that space doesn't open up or something?
Oh, no. I wasn't saying like it won't open for him.
But how will you know it's him?
I don't know.
Oh, all right.
That's the confidence that I have.
All right.
So like you have the confidence of like being able to like when she's here, like I'm gonna give it everything that I have because that's how I'm being intentional about all my relationships. My thing is when he's here, because the thing is I'm not gonna let everybody taste the chili. I'm just giving
that was like
I was gonna say slaw, but slaw is like
what's up with all this trifling stuff?
When people say slaw, they be talking about something that's whack. Like
you could say something that was sweet and like taste the pudding,
sweet
taste
potato.
The I don't know
because it's weird because I don't want it to sound like
Taste the
super
cream of wheat.
sexual, but okay, taste the cherries. But I'm just saying, like, I don't need no whole bunch of dudes like trying out my pudding.
Got you.
Can I use pudding?
I mean, I like banana pudding.
But I don't want everybody digging in my pudding with a spoon.
I got you.
To find out if they like me enough. I like
but how
me.
you gonna know if you like they spoon if nobody ever gets?
I like his spoon because that's the only reason why it's gonna even be open because I want him to eat it all. And now it's another podcast. Thank you for tuning in to Lip Service with Angelique.
This is not lip service.
No, it's not. But yeah, so
Yeah.
that's just I don't know if that even makes sense to
Yeah, I
you.
mean, it
I
makes
just feel
sense
like
to
we I feel like I can respect what you're saying though.
Yeah, I respect what you're saying too. You're
Yeah.
the woman. It's your life.
That's it.
So even if I don't understand it or don't respect it, it's still your life. Like I ain't gotta get it. You gonna.
That's how it's done, folks.
I got so much faith in you and your relationship with God.
That's it.
Well, I said that wrong. I got so much faith in God and your relationship with God, and I pray for you every day. So whatever's gonna happen,
Yes.
it's gonna work.
I believe
It's
in
gonna
God
work out
for it
Yeah.
all.
So
So
yeah.
anything more toxic that we can discuss?
I don't know. Can they be trusted?
Who? The best friend?
The
Or the
person who only has
significant other?
opposite sex friends.
Oh.
Significant other.
I think so. Like, I didn't think, like, when I was in a relationship with a guy, and mind you, he didn't only have women friends, right? Like, we talked about the one guy that he would discuss, and I'm sure he had other men who he was around. Like, he knew how to talk to men, and he had men he worked with and all this other stuff. But I never felt threatened by, and I don't know if it's just because it's me, because we did talk about that, right? How we're different. I never felt like he was out banging nobody, and
Yeah.
that
That's 'cause you
was
don't have
never
that
at the top.
insecurity, though.
No, I don't.
Many people do. Many people
Yes.
cannot trust somebody that only hangs with the opposite sex.
Right. Should they have to though? Should they?
You do what you want to do. This is
Yeah.
what I'm gonna say though. This is what irritates me. I don't care if you don't want your woman having opposite sex friends or if you don't mind. I don't care. I don't want to impose on anybody else's life. This is my problem.
And what's your problem?
You knew before you got into a relationship with him, before y'all got too serious, that these were her people.
Facts.
And
Yes.
now
Now you want to have a problem with it.
Now you want to have a problem with it, and
Right.
now you want to try to control it or cut them people off.
I
Something.
don't like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I
I
don't
had a
like
problem with.
But
Like,
I don't do that. That's another thing about me. If I know what it is, right? I'm not gonna be like, well, listen, I want you to let her go. No,
want you
like
to cut
I'm
them
not
off.
about to say you gotta get rid of all of your friends because I just don't feel comfortable with you having like I've never been her.
I don't even know if you're forever yet.
What you mean?
Like,
Oh, right, exactly.
I don't know if you're
so I'm
forever
just gonna
yet.
be like, hey, friend that I've known my whole life, we can't be anymore. My boyfriend don't like you.
hey, friend that I love and cherish and been there for me through a lot of
Right, who
things.
prays for me
and
and
vice versa.
never,
This
crosses my
person
boundaries.
that I just met a couple months ago, they ain't feeling us.
Yeah, so I gotta let you go.
We can't be friends no more.
We gotta dead that.
Yeah, and then
But
and then
I
a
will
month
say-
later, me and that person ain't even together no more.
And
I'm
now
coming
we gotta
back.
yes.
Hey, Darah, can we be friends again?
But I did have a friend. I did have a friend who said that she had just gotten real cool with her best friend again because she was in like a domestic violence situation.
Yeah.
I think I can condone that. Like I can't watch you get beat up.
I don't know how to be like, I fucking told you. Now you want to be my friend again?
So you wouldn't
When I do-
reconcile with somebody who got out of that relationship? Like they came to
I pray for compassion and love. So
Okay.
I definitely would.
Okay, gotcha.
But I promise you,
You gonna say something?
you going to hear my mouth.
Yeah.
It's not going to be to beat you down or anything.
But
It's going to be the
Because it could've gone-
It's going to be the accountability because
Yeah.
I'm be
But
like,
that's
why
your
you
love,
keep making
though.
these decisions?
That's your love.
Yeah, you can't. I think it's going to be hard for me to be a friend to you if you don't receive that accountability because I'm not going to stop being me.
Right.
If I see that this nigga ain't good for you, I'm going to pray on it first. If God releases me to say something, I'm going to say something. If I see that this relationship is damaging to your person,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
Ain't no reason for me to go to God.
Yeah.
Just like you said, I'm not liking how your countenance has been. Like I could see just the darkness in your life right now. This nigga ain't good for you.
Right.
If you be like, well,
I'm gonna
I'm just gonna
write it out.
me personally, I would have to kind of create a gulf.
Well, that's
Like,
what she
this
said.
is
Her friend.
myself.
That's what her friend did,
Yeah.
and they just reconciled because she got out of the relationship. But I see what you're saying in the sense that when she came back, you would have been like, you know what I mean? Like she would have heard your mouth. But I understand where you're coming from because it could have gone badly.
Yep.
Like you could be dead.
Yep.
You could be non-existent right now, sis.
With no
And I
friends.
love you so much. You was gonna let that nigga take you all the way out?
Yep.
That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. But no.
And now you want to be my friend again because you survived.
Yeah.
What you think this is?
Shut up.
So-
You're going to be their friend. You so mean.
I come second.
Terrible.
Yeah, I get
No,
it.
but yeah. So.
All right. Ooh.
What?
Thinking like the opposite sex.
Is that okay?
Like, would that be a thing?
Like, is
So,
that sexy? You get that from
not
Remy
as
Ma?
sexy. So, yep. So, if the man hangs around all women, or if the woman hangs around all men, they start picking up like their traits, start picking up their lingo, start picking up their ways, so to say. So, like, it reminded me of when you said the guy was looking for somebody consistent. Men don't say that. We don't say, I'm looking for a woman who's going to be consistent. Consistent in what?
Yeah.
That's what women say, that general ass statement. Men just aren't consistent. Consistent in what?
Yeah. I hear a lot of women say consistent
Yeah.
for men.
Men
Because
don't.
men usually
we don't say that.
Y'all call every day one week. The next week you might hear from you once. The next week after that you might shoot a
We're
text.
men.
You up.
Many of us are sporadic. It
Yeah.
doesn't. Nothing looks the same always, and that's what y'all want because that's a level of security. It's like a level of emotional security or whatever. You're providing some kind of what you call it, consolation or something to this woman when she knows that she keeps getting this from you, whatever. So when you don't have that pattern, when we're not establishing that pattern, when things look, y'all don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
He just like, man, this dude texts me like when he might text me every Monday. It switch up to every other Thursday or something. Like I don't know,
like that.
I don't know what this dude is doing.
Yeah.
And then you got social media that tells people, girl, if he don't call you every day, if this man don't speak to you all the time,
Yeah,
if he don't
like
make
you,
if he don't
respect
make
you.
time for you, he don't like you.
Yeah.
Like what? If he don't make time, dude got a whole life himself. Like it ain't like.
But I mean, I just be telling my friends the truth. Like for real, he probably out here talking to several other women. Like let's just call a spade a spade.
Which may be possible.
Yes.
Did
I'm
y'all
like,
discuss that he wouldn't?
Exactly.
Wouldn't he?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. Like, do you realize that there's probably somebody else he's interested in right now? It's hard.
Because
It's
you
very
know-
hard.
Because you know what it is?
What?
We all want that. So like I want a woman that I don't have to tell like
Stop talking to other dudes.
yeah. I want somebody who just when we get involved, we start dating and everything
She cut off everybody.
because she wanted to, because she was like, you know what, I really like this dude. Let me direct my focus here.
But we all
Okay,
know that
what I
that's
do.
not. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we want, but for many people, most people, they want to establish like, look, are we exclusive? Like, what are we doing? Blah blah blah. I don't need that. I don't have to have that discussion.
So
Even if you are talking to other people, I'll know when you're not.
yeah, that's
if
true.
I give it that time.
Yeah, that's true. You do know.
Yeah.
Actions are
You
major.
know when somebody's about you versus
Yeah.
when somebody's just dating or just having a good time or something.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You absolutely do. What was I about to say? Oh, going back to the language though. I think
Gay.
I think but okay, so on the other side of the spectrum though, then there are the women like the Remy Ma's like who say like I think like a dude.
She talks like a dude. She don't think like a dude.
I don't think that she thinks like a guy either.
Yeah.
But here's okay. I think the caveat is that I think it's important for women to consult with men to have a broadened horizon, but I don't think that it is possible for a woman to quote unquote think like a man.
You can't.
Exactly.
We're not wired the same.
We're not wired the
You
same.
might understand some general things, but trust me, you do
We
not
are just
think like
not
us.
wired the same. And I, of course, I do think that there are a lot of women who have the $1 million worth of game, right? Who have those grandfathers and their fathers who sit down with them and they be like, baby, let me tell you something. You know what I mean? They are able to, come from a different mindset. Like when she talked about a woman being a bill, I felt that in my soul because I know that that's the truth. I've heard other men talk about that. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I know that. Nobody
Women
wants.
are a bill.
No, first of all, I
Yes.
learned being a businesswoman that there are assets and there are liabilities.
Yes.
And when you are a bill, you are a liability, and you
Yes.
are getting on somebody's nerves. But it's
Yes.
only when you understand that mindset, though. See, if you've been taking care of your whole life, honey, you don't know what an asset or a liability are, honey, because you're an
All right, well,
asset.
since you went there, how does a woman become an asset and not a liability? Because many of these women out here are liabilities. If I make a clip out of this right now, 1,000 dudes gonna like it today.
Because they're going to say, you right, dog.
They
Like,
definitely a bill. Women are a bill. I'm stamping that right now. Women are a bill. But
So-
what makes a woman an asset?
So I think that I think that it's subjective, though, because I don't think that men are a monolith, and I don't think that women are necessarily a monolith, because I don't think that every man wants the same thing. And even with us watching that podcast, we understood that that's what they were saying, right? Like I as a man need my woman to be okay with me looking at other women. That wouldn't be something that you would say, because your whole thing wouldn't be that I need to be looking at other women and you have to be okay with it, because that's not going to be important on your list. Do you know God?
That doesn't. So I disregard what that dude
No,
was talking
I know,
about, because
but
that was just stupid.
It was very
Yeah,
dumb.
that
But what
was-
I'm saying is I feel like men do have a checklist when it comes down to the type of women that they are looking for. There's some men who want the nasty, dirty, like,
Trust me.
freaky joints, right?
The majority of us still believe,
That's what they want.
that women are a bill, regardless of what they're looking for.
They
we
even
know
think that
it.
women are a bill.
Yeah.
Well, then so to me, this is why I'm an asset.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I'm an asset because I will always be adding something to your life, whether it is
No,
mentally.
Don't tell them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you going like that? You can tell. I'm about to say, don't tell them what you
No,
add
I'm
to
not
their
gonna.
life.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
do that, because I don't think every man doesn't need the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. But whether it's mentally, whether it's spiritually, whether it's emotionally, physically, there's something that I'm going to be doing. But I know intentionally, right? I'm thinking about the things that maybe you're not even thinking about. Like with your shoes, like with feeding you, like with, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. Like I just don't want to think about it. Those type of things can cause you to be an asset. Nobody has a problem with paying for you, to go anywhere, as long as you are considerate of them. And that's what
Right.
I feel like I bring to the relationship, consideration, right?
Yeah.
But I have to like I'm not perfect, in a sense that if I'm not connected to you, then I'm not going to be able to bring all of that, because I'm just ready to go.
Well, you are an asset, and I'm not just saying that because I love you. But everybody knows you're an asset. Everybody who knows Darah knows, like,
Well, I hope,
yeah,
guys.
she's an asset. Like, that one's a keeper. Any man that doesn't think that is lying. Matter of fact, any man that knows you, I'm pretty sure they know, like, nah, that's a good woman right there. I can't say that about too many women, the single women out here. I can't really say like she adds value. We're friends for a reason. I don't have, like I said, I don't have other women friends, and it's not that I just don't want to have women friends. It just before I didn't, but I'm not opposed to it now. Ever since we built a relationship. But it's just that I don't see value in a friendship with too many other women. They're not presenting themselves as assets. Not saying that I need to benefit something from their relationship and everything. I just don't. What do I get from them that I wouldn't get from my men friends?
Right.
Like what? I don't. There's nothing there. Like our friendship is like completely organic.
And that's
I
the
just
reason
gotta
why
grow to
a
see
lot
who
of
you
men
are.
don't understand that. They're like,
Yeah.
well, why are you friends with her? Like, what is she bringing to your life that, like, you just cannot, like, just be with your men friends?
So you brought me a sense of respect for the feminine. You brought me, because of you, well, I ain't gonna say because of you, but because of my relationship with you and my relationship with God, it allowed me to have more of a respect and reverence for women. I've always had like a protective sense for them, but more so a respect of their
weaker vessel.
opinions, respect of how they live. What'd you say?
I said as a weaker vessel.
You're definitely the weaker vessel. It's not because I want you to be or because I said it. God said it. And that's just what
But
you
at
are.
first you were just saying.
That's just what you are. Yeah. the weaker vessel.
Yeah.
And so it's not to beat you down. It's really saying that a woman is a weaker vessel. It's saying that it's putting a heavier responsibility on us.
Boom.
It's not supposed to be as they are beneath us or
Right,
they
because
are subservient to
there are
us.
a lot of women who would get in there like tight hearing you say that.
That's
Weaker
because they
vessel.
not
No, we are
understanding.
not. We are the same. Like that. Like Remy was saying,
Yeah.
we are the same. And it's like
They're
we're not.
not.
And it's okay that we're not.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand why in this life we are constantly trying to prove or one up one another.
That's
when we are existing on this earth.
That's the thing. We're not trying to prove or like whatever one another. It's women are trying to prove that they're equal to men.
Mm-hmm.
And we never held that like you're not equal. Well, I ain't gonna say we never did. Some people probably
Yeah, I was
did.
gonna say there are some men
We're
who do.
not equal. Stay in a woman's place. That's some old head. Come on,
Yeah.
man. There's more black women who hold more degrees than black men or whatever. Black women are starting to get jobs and make more money than black men. I'm not trying to hear that no more. That's not what we not abiding by that type of philosophy no more out here. Most people are intimidated. Most men are intimidated by women with these high-paying jobs, executive level positions, and all of that. So I'm not even trying to hear that. Can't nobody say that that's what's going on today.
Right.
Like this whole women's movement and everything is freaking taking over our country. So I'm not. You can't say that we hold that sentiment today. I'm not trying to hear that. Men are not in competition with women. Like it's women that's putting themselves in competition with us. And because we feel that attack, it's just like we're defending ourselves and then men attack women, which is immature. It's not really, and it's really not showing any difference between us. But with women being a weaker vessel, it's a charge to us to be more responsible and be more delicate to where I take this weaker vessel and I make it as strong as me. It's like you're only as strong as your weakest link. I'm strong. It's not saying a weaker vessel doesn't mean you're weak.
Right.
Just
I
mean
I know what it means.
It just
but-
means if you take a 200-pound man and a 200-pound woman, neither one of them worked out, just natural shape, whatever. That man is naturally going to be stronger than her. He has 33% more muscle in his body than her. That just is what it is.
Yeah, naturally.
Women are emotional first. Men are logic first, or at least supposed to be. The devil,
Right,
the devil
because I
done
was
did
gonna
what he
say.
did. The devil done did what he did with all these fatherless homes and everything, and then emasculated a lot of men. But that's the way we're wired. Most women think about how I'm feeling now, the present tense, how it's going to affect this family now. The man is thinking, how's this going to affect us 5 years from now? I want to make sure we're good later on down the line.
And both
You're just
are
thinking
necessary.
and both are necessary.
You need to play checkers and chess.
Yeah, you do. But that's just.
But that's the point. Like
yeah.
that.
But we're not in
We're
in
not.
competition with each other. Like how the hell? How are we in competition with each other? But then we end up getting married.
That's
We
what I'm
end up getting married.
saying. That's why it don't work.
Yeah.
We in there, we fighting each other because that's what we feel like we got to do. Or I'm trying to figure out what you're doing to make
We're
me
supposed to
better.
work together.
But how are you making yourself better? Because you're still supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
Like we're joined, right? We become one, but there's the parts of the body, right? So you got the head, you got the neck, you know what I mean? Like
you got the head. You don't see me right here. Like you.
I'm just giving visuals.
He's about to palm my
You got
face.
the head, you got the neck, you got the arms. But no, like all of these things work together.
Yeah.
And the body really functions at its best when all
Everything.
things work together.
Yes.
So that's what I mean when it comes to women and men. It's not a competition, but also I'm not competing with my other women either.
Yeah.
But
Men, we
this
compete.
is why I'm trying to get people to understand it's you. It's you. So
It's an inner issue.
we were just talking about Kevin Gates, and we don't really care for Kevin Gates much.
Damn.
No, I'm just playing. I don't know the man. I don't know the man to care for him, but I do know that he said something very profound about when basically geniuses like talking to themselves. And he was like, you can learn a lot about yourself by basically talking to yourself. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I don't think enough of us are talking to ourselves. And I say that because
there's a fine line between genius and that's what you just said.
Yes.
And insanity.
Yes. And I think though that you have to, I feel like if this is the line, I don't feel like anybody is coming to it. Like if there's a fine line between genius and insanity, I don't feel like anybody is even approaching the line because everybody's so worried about like them.
Yeah.
But they're not worried about how they are showing up. They're not worried about, you know what I mean? How can I be better for the greater good of this kingdom, this world? Right. You know what I mean? So when I say talking to yourself, I don't mean like, you know, just, you know, random conversation. I mean, like checking yourself. Checking yourself.
That's what you don't mean.
Yeah, that's what I don't mean. Yeah, like you good. You look good. No, I mean like.
I don't know why she don't like you.
Do I need to apologize? Like, I'm feeling something right now. Do I need to go back and apologize about what I just said to her? How did I just show up at this party?
Yeah.
What did I make my friend? I know my friend was crying from what I said. Did I make her cry, or was she just in an emotional way? Like things like that. These are the type of things, these are the conversations that I have with myself. You know what I mean? Like I told you with the testimonials that I had earlier. Some things convicted me. AJ, he just brought up, he told me not to be so cold. He said, I understand that you're bringing up these boundaries. He said, but just don't be cold hearted. And I got convicted. And so I had to go back and apologize about something I had said, which I felt what I said. I still meant what I said. Yeah. But it was just the way that I was showing up. But I had to talk to myself. I talked to God and I talked to myself. And I said, how could you have gone about that a different way? Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean when I say talking to yourself. I think that that's what makes you a genius. It's not a matter of how many things you can remember. Yeah. How many facts. Like, did you know that a giraffe's neck was 25 feet long? No. It's about inner self.
Is it 25 feet long?
No.
I was about to say.
I don't know. Yeah. But I think what makes a genius is you're able to feel and you're able to comprehend and you're able to dig deep within yourself. Mm-hmm. But again, there's that fine line.
You're able to maneuver to the truth.
Yes.
And accept it. And deal with it.
That's why a lot of geniuses, let's talk music. A lot of musical geniuses are largely supported because usually it's a polarizing effect, right? Mm-hmm. But the majority of people can feel what that person is trying to get out there because of the fact that they have to stick to their truths. Like let's talk about Prince. Mm-hmm. Prince, he is wild to me. Like you know, I think he was a great musician, a great guy for all I know, right? From the stories that I've heard, he was like super prolific. But I think that there was this way, like he had this like way of just being him, being true to himself, that everybody was kind of able to like tap into that, like, oh, dope. Yeah. Even when he was doing stuff that people just didn't understand. Mm-hmm. Like this man got on heels. Like, this man got on a ruffle. Yes. This man got on a ruffled shirt. He did. You know what I mean? He got curls to the guys. Like, he giving purple, you know, tiny little purple suits.
And apparently he could play basketball.
And apparently he could play basketball. You know what I'm saying? So it was like he touched so many people, but I think it's because I think Prince did have that, like, you know, that genius inside of him, whereas he could tap into so many different people because he was being so true to himself. Like at the end of the day, I feel like he had.
That's what the genius is.
That's what it is. You are
so true to yourself.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Like Kanye West.
Yeah.
Go ahead, say what you gonna say.
No, I just say That's all I got.
I think he's a genius.
I think so. I just think that he's crossed the line to insanity.
I don't.
No.
Nah, I think he's just so true to himself to the point where nobody understands him. I think his true to himself is just so far from what true to ourselves, I guess. And I think it's insanity if he would have tried to keep himself in the parameters that society want him to stay in or something. I think that would drive him to.
Well, I hear your point. Mm. I think the insanity comes in when you are trying to force other people to understand you. Like if you say true to yourself, then the people who are supposed to come will come. But I think when you try to force it on people, that's to me when you become insane, because you're like, right, everybody, right?
Sit your ass down.
it's like, no, because everybody doesn't have to be on the same page as you. I learned that early too.
Yeah. Right.
And I think I'm learning it more now, which is what goes back to the What's on Your Heart episode when I was talking about the fish out of water.
Yeah.
I'm not about to be trying to explain to people how this life goes for me. Yeah. It's my life. Right? All I'm going to try to do is love as much as I can, but I can't keep on trying to explain to you why I do the things that I do.
Right.
And I think that's what happened with Ye.
Yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he did get exhausted. Like that, like the mental, even the mental issues that that he has. Yeah. I think that's even a part of him just constantly battling with himself and trying to be accepted.
That's it. That's it right there.
Yeah.
That whole acceptance piece. Like everybody, I don't care what nobody says, we all have a need of acceptance from at least somebody.
Yes.
And sometimes we don't know who that person, like we'll have a quarrel with somebody not knowing what we really want from them is their acceptance. I had to deal with that with Mo. Like, and because God told me a long time ago, before we even started the church and everything, I'm talking about this had to be like 2011 or something. And he'd be telling me stuff that be out of time. Like it'd be way before his time. But he was like, you have to learn to live without Mo. This is when we was just doing Bible studies. He said, you got to learn to live without. He gave me a dream. And then when I woke up, he told me, you have to learn to live without Mo. And I was like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
And I really did not understand that until like 2017.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, okay. Because I grew up without my father. Mo was like the father figure in this spiritual walk for me. Unconsciously, that's how I gravitated to him. And so he was like my father in this walk. He's the one that fathered me in the spirit in this walk. And not knowing that that's what that was, whenever I felt let down by it, it was like being let down by your father.
Yes.
And I didn't understand that until later on. And then he was like, this is why I said you have to learn to live without him. Let me father you. This is how you're going to grow up in this situation. But unconsciously, I was because I had that type of relationship with him. Like, it's not that I was seeking his acceptance, but not having his acceptance affected me in a certain way. And so even when he said on the podcast, when he's like, I respect you, it made me feel a certain type of way.
He was like, really?
It's like, damn, man. Yeah, like that's what's up. That's something encouraging. Like every child that has a father in his life and everything, even when that father be dysfunctional and stuff, that child wants that father's acceptance, wants that father's love. Yeah. You have a healthy relationship with your father. When you get older, you want your father to be proud of you, of what you did and everything. Like all of us men want that, whether they're going to admit it or not. Like if you have a father, especially if you have a father that you love, that you respect, that you look up to, you want his acceptance. So all of us, every human being, we have, even if it's not a parent or a close friend or something, we have somebody that we want that
have that acceptance from.
Yeah.
Facts. And I not to go any deeper, right? Because we can go so deep into this, but I think that's the reason why there are a lot of things that are lost within the generations that have come after us. Because while it used to be your mother, your father, your sister, brother, whomever lives in your like nuclear family, now you have the social media network, so it's like millions of people have to be accepting of. So it's a lot of pressure, and that's why I told you, like, it's beyond me to be really like engaged in social media, because a part of me understands that I can go wild like that. I can go wild into like what I want people to know, or what I want people to think about me,
and everything,
and I don't
trying to manipulate that.
And I don't want that. I don't want it. I think if I'm gonna put out a message and I know that I've been given an assignment, then I just want to do that. I just turn my assignment. I'll see what my grade is. If I don't see what my grade is, then it's fine, because I've done my assignment. I've turned it in.
Got you.
I don't need to know the grade necessarily.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
That's what we are.
All right, so we can end on why you should have at least one friend of the opposite sex.
And I think we touched on it.
What would be a good thing? We did touch on it. Matter of fact, I think everything that I feel about it was said, and I don't care remember which episode it was.
The one about us being friends of the opposite sex?
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
So
It gives you a spectrum. It allows you to look deeper into your relationships. I think that somebody of the opposite sex can hold you accountable to learning at least what your partner is trying to say, or they could break it down a little bit easier. Like, I mean, why is this dude, like you said about your ex, how her best friend had to talk to her about what was going on between y'all. Like, no, this is what you said. This is how he took it.
This is how
he's a male. Like, I am too. Like, we not reading between lines, sis. Like, that's not what we do. Yeah. And so it was like, oh, because I trust him.
And you know the beautiful thing about that? Some men will be like, see, why the hell you listen to him, but you wouldn't listen to me? I'll tell you the same thing.
Exactly.
I'm looking at it like, thank you, my man.
That's what happened with me and my ex too. Yeah. He was telling me how his good girlfriends were like, why are you so pressed to marry this girl? Do you know anything about her? And usually a girl would be like, why would they say that? Of course, you know me and you want to marry me. Like, why would they ever bring you away from marrying me? But I was like, right.
You don't even know me.
Why you don't even, yes. Why are you so pressed? Because you don't know me like that. For you to be so pressed to marry me. And then it kind of like came out. But it's just like, I was like, thank you. Because I needed them to be the voice. And of course, because of the fact that they have such a strong bond and they've known these people for so long, they're going to listen to them before they would listen to us. Yep. But that's something that you and I respect because we know that. And we're not threatened by that.
Not threatened by it at all.
So I was like grateful. Yeah. But I know that somebody else might be like, why are you listening to them? You don't listen to me.
I'm grateful either way. I'm grateful if they said something and it helped me, and I'm grateful if they said something and it turned you away from me. Because if they have that kind of influence on you to mess this up, you just saved me more time with this relationship.
Word.
So
I like that. Yeah, because there's different ways of seeing it.
It's different dynamics. Yeah. But you also, I feel like a man should have, because I used to be like, I don't need women friends. Like, I have sex with them. That's what I was using women for. Like, they supposed to be girlfriends or sex partners. That's just what it was for me back then. And so, but then having a true woman friend, it brought out the softer side of me. It broke down all of the toxic masculinity in me, and it just it enabled me to really just embrace my feminine side and embrace what all comes with a woman in regards to femininity and really caring for them and everything. It allowed being friends with you, and this is a testimony of your character and you being a woman, allowed me to be more graceful with life, not just with people, but just with life, period, because of your nurturing aspect and just who you embrace being a woman in totality. Like, you don't come off masculine. You don't try to come off masculine or anything. And so it's like just a smoother, like more, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like an easier way of going through life.
Because you have to think about it like this. You said something that was very powerful. You said you saw women as girlfriends or someone who I wanted to have sex with. Yeah. In both of those, to me, that's objectifying a woman. So they're looked at as objects. So because we're talking about objects now, let's put it to something more practical for men, a car. When there's a car that you really want, right, you put pressure on yourself to get the money or whatever you got to do to make sure that you get that car. There's a different pressure that comes from that. If you see something as an object, something that you want, there is a level of pressure in your mind as a man, right? And this is me, I'm trying to, really starting to get to understand what men want and what they're thinking and all this other stuff. Not saying that I know, because I don't, but just understanding that it puts more pressure on you because y'all are very like, I'm going to get that. Like, if it's something to get, I'm going to get it, because that's the whole thing of a man. It's all a game. Like, that's why y'all love football.
Not a game,
it's
I
know, I'm not really like making it seem like it's like child's play, but I mean it like y'all are competitive. It's something to achieve. So I'm going to achieve it. I'm going to do something that makes me achieve it. There's a lot of pressure that comes with that. But women are not objects, though. Right. We're soul and spirit. We're so many different things. Mental. We're so many different things. So if you stop seeing us as objects, then you don't even understand the sexual aspect that comes from that, right? When you stop seeing me as a car.
I know, because I don't want to just have sex with women no more.
There we go.
I want to make love.
There we go. And you don't even understand. I hate you.
I'm serious though.
But
Like,
I
want
know,
somebody
but it's just the way you just said that. I want to make love.
Yeah.
But but if you're following me though, because everything starts for us in here.
Yeah.
If you stop looking at us as objects and you start really like engaging with us, then you would know that you can untap some amazing things. Like again, you've never seen that masculine aspect come out of me because you don't have to. Mm-hmm. You don't treat me like I'm an object. Yeah. If you did, AJ, which I can't even fathom it because you never have. Yeah. But if you did, you would see a whole other Darah. The stories that I've told you before, right? Where I've had to cut guys off or I've had to create these boundaries because they make me feel uncomfortable. And I'm not to feel uncomfortable, especially not in my business, especially not in my home, right? So if you treated me as an object, then you would get a whole other person. But because you don't, I'm able to give you that that femininity. I'm able to give you myself, my true self. I'm able to be
the unadulterated.
Yes, because I don't have to provide my own security. Yeah. I can be secure with you because you're not constantly like, what's up, baby? Yeah, looking at it. You know what I mean? Like you're not constantly treating me like
an object.
Yes, like I'm a piece of meat. Yeah. So that's why I think
that is that
helps that you have a woman best friend, because now, like, even though you don't have a lot of women friends, I believe that if you were to meet a woman who is worth your time, because I think that's what's so great about men, right? Y'all really don't be going for the okie doke. No, especially when you know who you are, especially men who don't have children and like are winning out here like with like their careers and things like that. Like they really don't feel like they need to settle for anything less than their best, right? So when you do find a woman who is worth your time.
We're the boring ones though.
What? The men that don't have kids?
You know how many women, it's like, you don't have any kids? I'm like, no. Like, how old are you? What the hell is it a surprise? I'm 30-something.
Because you're a unicorn. That's kids. Why I wouldn't think that it would be boring.
I'm not a unicorn anymore, though.
Why?
It's almost like half of black men out here that don't have kids.
No,
like black adults
I told you why that statistic is true. What? They don't know that they have kids. It's not that they don't actually have them. They're just not reported. See, as a woman, you got to report your kids because you know they came out of your womb.
Yeah, but they know who them fathers is because they got them on child support.
But some women have never told their anyway, that's a whole other podcast. But yeah, so what was I saying? I forgot that quick.
I'm a unicorn.
Yeah, so you have people like yourself who are like in this position where you don't have to settle. Yeah. You know what I mean? So when you do, find a woman who is worth your attention and worth your time, then you'll see how to really treat her, because you have a friend like me who is able to allow you to not see or objectify her. But I think that you've already passed that. Like most like you're not on level 5 anymore. Like I feel like you are on like level 12, level 13. So it's going to be interesting to see that dynamic, which I think you were able to practice it with those women that you've been with. Yeah. But I just don't think that they were ready for you.
Nope.
So, yeah.
All right. You got anything else?
No, I think we can cap it off here.
All right, we cap it off. Hold up.
What?
You ain't tell us the women's side. Wow, women should have male friends.
It's the same thing.
All right.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I think. So I'll say what I've learned. I can only speak for myself. What I've learned from having a male best friend is I've learned how to respect men. I talked to a couple of guys about that, just in barbering. I was like, I just feel like men are dumb. I do. Like I just felt like that, but I don't feel like that anymore. I just feel like we think shut up. But I did say that bold prayer. I told you I said that bold prayer when I was in the shower. I was like, Lord, I know what I'm asking for. And I was in a relationship at that time. I was like, I know what I'm asking for. And I realized that it may not look like I thought that it would, but I feel like this is important because I don't respect men like I should. I don't think that they're very smart. Show me a different way. Show me something else. And I feel like he has, because now I'm not constantly like, no, it's just that y'all, like, honestly, y'all do not be thinking like how we think. And that's okay. That's okay. So I
prayed for you with that too. I was like, God, she ain't gonna make it thinking niggas are dumb.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna make it.
Yeah, like if she think men are dumb, like I don't know too many men that's gonna
be okay with that. Yeah. But also, I think I was transparent with that maybe one guy, but I don't think I've ever Maybe I have. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're not with.
I
I'm not
get
with
what
them
you
anymore.
mean when you saying it.
Yeah, it's like it
Yeah.
doesn't connect. But like my client said, he was just like, it's not that we just, when we have our mindset, it was a little boy. That's what I meant to tell you. One of
What?
my clients, his name is Caleb. Hey, Caleb. He's probably not going to listen to this. You cursed a few times. Caleb is like 13, and he was like, you want to know something about men? And I was like, sure. He's like, he has an old soul. I love talking to Caleb. He's like, when we have our mindset on something, if you tell us other things, it's not that we don't want to listen to those things. It's just that whatever's on our mind for us to do is more important. I was like,
We need to bring him on the
thank
podcast.
you. I know. He would come too. He's so
Yeah.
cute. Caleb is so
See,
cute.
this is what you women don't understand.
What?
You know, the waffles and spaghetti stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't want the spaghetti all over our waffles. Take
Mm-hmm.
your spaghetti and put it in one little compartment
Yep.
on our waffle.
Yep.
And it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I want your spaghetti right here in this compartment. Don't try to spread it everywhere.
Yeah, don't put it over here.
Yeah, because that's too much.
Mm-hmm.
Put it right here.
Yep.
Boom. And then take your other spaghetti. Put it
But-
right here.
And if you think of the ingenuity of that, right? If you think about the spaghetti and the waffle analogy,
Mm-hmm.
the reason why we can remember a lot of things is because we think everything is related.
connected, yeah.
Right. So you
Everything
like-
is related for us also.
it's not.
It is. It's just not related in the way that y'all want it related. We
Oh,
still
okay.
know how to compartmentalize. So the waffle is still one waffle. We just section them bad boys off. Y'all are just like, no, everything now. It's like everything now.
Right,
Like,
okay.
nah, not everything now.
Okay.
At least you're gonna at least keep everything on your mind now, at least. And so that you can hold me accountable for these things when the times come. But,
I just don't believe that. I'm sorry.
All right.
I feel like
Everything
it
matters
is
to
one
us.
waffle.
He's right.
But y'all cut out a square. And that's the square y'all
that's
focus on.
the focal point.
Yes.
It's
and
not
then
saying
everything
that
else
these
is thrown
things-
away.
Not thrown away, just
Oh.
not focused on at this point in time.
All right.
Let us
Okay.
master this,
Okay.
and then we're gonna move on to the next one.
Okay.
Y'all are
I
like,
believe
no,
you.
now
No, I get it because I
the
told
dishes,
him.
my
the reason-
car. This is
Yes.
No.
So the reason why Caleb had imparted that on me is because, wow, crap. What did I tell? Oh, I told him about how I'm just understanding that, like because I asked him, I said, "What's on your mind, Caleb?" And he was like, "Nothing," and I was like, "I'm just really understanding that. Like that's really a thing for you guys. Like y'all really don't be thinking about nothing." I said, I just wanted to like let him know, like. I respect you, bro. like you're 13, but
And
I
he re-
realized
and
like
then
you're
he
13
replied
and you're
with
really
that?
not. Yeah, he was like, you want to know something else about men? That's literally what happened. Caleb, I'm telling you, Caleb is on another level. He's going to be a really good
Yeah.
protector of women and children.
Yeah.
He is. He's going to be a great husband because he's already starting.
Yeah.
Like he takes care of his mother. Like he comes from a single parent home
Mm-hmm.
too. And but he does have a father. His father, I guess his father is active. I don't know his father that well, but I've seen him. Right?
Somebody's active. It is
Somebody's
like for
active.
him to have that kind of understanding.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I said because even when his cousin moved in with them, he said he's like I'm the man of the house. Like,
How old was
I
his
need you
cousin?
to know that his cousin's older than him. His cousin's like 20 something. Caleb's 13.
He said, "I'm the man in the house. I need you to know that."
And I said, "Dad, Caleb, I said you told your
all right, little good.
yeah, that was it." And his cousin is so chill that he was like, I was like, "What you say to him?" He was like, "I ain't say nothing. I mean, you know,
got-
like
you
you
got
got
it.
it."
Yeah.
He said he had on his robe. He got a
You got
little
a
cup.
little
He got a little mug.
Hey, Mike, just want you to know something. My house, all right?
My house, dog. Like,
Yeah.
this is.
If you can't
my
abide
house.
by these rules,
And he was serious. He was like, "Oh, I said, Caleb, your cousin told me that you told him that." He was like, "Oh, he told you that?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, that was a while ago." Like he take it back. He was like, "No, I
yeah,
didn't."
That was a while ago.
I'm like, "Yeah, that was a while ago." Like, okay, Caleb. But anyway, that's my man.
all right,
Shout
y'all.
out to Caleb.
Yeah, shout out to Caleb, man.
All right, let's do some topic. A next topic.
Let's do the next topic.
Yeah.
Let's remind y'all while we picking out this topic, go subscribe, like, comment, share, all that. Deep Skydiving Podcast, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, everywhere you watch your podcast or listen to it, we can be found. Ooh, this is yours, I believe. How do men see cheating versus how women do? Is it the worst thing your significant other can do?
Is that mine?
It's definitely yours.
Oh, okay. It's wordy, so yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's a good one.
Yeah. Is cheating the worst thing that could be done in a relationship?
That's a good one.
How do men see cheating versus how do women see cheating?
Yep. So be ready. I'm gonna go for the men. I'm just.
How? That's what I say. I'm lost already.
Lost already. No, but thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. What is this, episode 16?
I believe so. No,
wow.
No.
It's episode 16. Because you just did the one with Mo.
Yeah, episode 16.
Episode 16. So we appreciate y'all. And, hey, listen, go back and get those nuggets. Just make sure that y'all realize, like, y'all aren't the only one on this planet. And your opinion is not the only opinion that matters.
Yep.
And the opinion is important to you because it's yours.
And look, if your significant other has friends of the opposite sex, don't take it as a threat. Well, I ain't gonna say only, because that's the red flag. It's still a red flag if they only have.
Yes.
And if they have any friends of the opposite sex, don't take offense to it. Don't take a threat. Don't take it as a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Find out how to make it work.
That's it. Make it work. That's the most important thing.
Right.
But if your significant other doesn't have any friends, run.
Yes, I concur. I mean, if you don't have any friends,
right,
and she doesn't have any friends, or he doesn't have any friends,
y'all made for each other.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Make it work. Whatever the hell y'all do, make it work. I ain't gonna tell you it can't work.
If y'all already married, make it work.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you it can't work. I ain't gonna tell you it's perfect for each other.
Yeah.
But it can work. Make it work. Whatever.
All right. We love y'all.
Deuces.
Open hand, peace.